How we doing? We're looking good. What OS that runs? Oh, and these are not active. Oof. Well, let's start with the obvious of thank God it's not pressurized. Second up, can I just cut these off? I don't know why I would. But I'm gonna do it anyway. I should raise my heat threshold a little bit. Like, yeah, I can grab the audio thing. Oh, I see, because this is meant for the barge. Holy smokes. That's a big armor plate. Alright, in you go. These have to be removed. I think the whole ship's open, so I'm just gonna start taking off the door panels.
Salvage secured. Account
Okay.
applied.
I like this ship. This is one of those really easy, kinda easy ones. I'm sure I'm gonna eat those words, but all I have to do is just skin the dang thing. And then it's pretty much gravy. Okay, can I cut these? Kinda can. I don't know why the music here is so ominous. Just turn around and the whole thing's on fire. Oh. Okay. Grab our parts. And maybe this time... Now let's hold to extract. Maybe this time I should go for the thrusters first and disconnect them. Yeah, let's actually do that this time. The last couple times I've done this, it has not gone well for me. And I might as well do that now. Okay. Now that we've done that, we might as well just kind of separate all of this junk out. I don't want to say go for the reactor first. I usually like going for the reactor later, because the less things around the reactor, kind of the better. Because if it does decide to go kablooey on me, I'd much prefer it to go kablooey with nothing else around. Boy, turning in this game is still really slow. Okay. Yeah, let's just go precision here. I'm just gonna cut everything. I don't know what half of these even correspond to, but they're getting the cut. Really dislike class 2 reactors. It's painful trying to get those thrusters out if it ain't powered. Yeah, what I should... If I screw up and turn off the power before detaching the thrusters, I think from now on I'm just going to start throwing it in the barge wholesale. I don't need to save my money that hard. Okay, gotta be careful with this one. Do not want to hit the coolant pipe. That burnt a little harder and I got a little worried. Let's see, the clamps might have what you need. I think I need the arms outside. I could be wrong. Okay. I think we're almost done. It's gonna take a while. Huh. Are there any grade 2 cut points? Because I've seen grade 1 and grade 3. I guess they probably nixed the grade 2s. Okay, so we're at the front. Do we have any other... Yes. Got at least one more of these. A little bit more. I guess I can actually grab rods out of the industrial hoist, but I don't think... Was it rods that... Yeah, it is rods that I need. Okay. Yeah, I might break them. Often these ships will actually just have some of them floating around. So I've been kind of floating by on that. Just out of, you know, doing my due diligence. There we go. This thing is just going to pop into pieces and it's going to be so handy. Gotta make sure nothing important is attached. There we go. Gosh. I feel like for these geckos, you could almost spend an entire dang shift just shredding the exteriors. Oh. Oh, that was a risky shot. I was not processing what was directly behind that. Alright, let's turn before we do that again. I do appreciate how I just cut it loose and the whole thing starts like physicsing itself apart. In older games, this thing would have just disintegrated, and it would have been really funny, and probably terrible. What was it? I want to say it was like Morrowind. I remember exploding rooms in old Elder Scrolls games. Like Morrowind and... Morrowind and Oblivion. I think it was both of them. Because they would be static objects until you exerted any kind of physics force on them. And then they would become, proper physics objects and oftentimes just kind of explode outwards. And it was really silly looking every time it happened. Okay. How are we doing? I think I've cut almost every cut point here. Man. On the topic of, you know, modding and whatnot, I know Microsoft has been buying out, maybe too many companies, but I think it would be really cool for them to, like, reach out, to the devs of this and be like, hey, we want to make, like, a Halo licensed, Hardspace Shipbreaker. Because, boy, ripping apart the, like, Pillar of Autumn or some Covenant ships would be pretty primo. And I still think Disney should do the same. A Halo DLC pack. Oh, it'd be so good! It likely will never happen, but... Gosh, I wish developers were better at licensing cool things, rather than shitty TV shows. I have not paid any attention to the Halo TV show. I was like, well, if it's good, I'll watch the whole thing, and if it's bad, I'll just ignore its existence forever. And I think that was the correct... methodology to use. By all accounts, it's super scuffed. I do really want to play through the Halo games at some point, but... I don't think I will touch the show. Don't, you'll end up hating Quan. Who the hell is Quan? You gotta realize the fridge. I don't know.
Reactor meltdown sequence triggered. Urgent action required.
Right, let me through. Cripes. Okay, nope. What is this hooked onto? I have no idea. Okay.
Salvage destroyed. Don't do that.
Don't care. Okay. Whew!
Salvage secured. Applying credit. Salvage goal cleared. Reward.
First we start with cutting the ship apart. Then we go immediately into disaster mode. And then we deal with the reactor.
Object accepted for processing.
That could have been really bad. Apparently there was a coolant pipe down there that I didn't see. Okay. Yeah, next time I skin the damn thing more. Right from the get-go. Okay. I gotta push this one to the right, otherwise it's going in the furnace. Epic save, though.
Valuable object.
Yeah.
Credits
I'm
deposited.
glad it gave me the opportunity. I don't know how I got it out. I'll be honest. I was just like, it seems like there's a gap. I'm just gonna start pushing. I am so very, very glad I ripped this whole exterior apart first. It is a chill game until the threat of thermonuclear death is on the table. This is true.
Credits deposited.
Is this shipping crate just kind of on its own and just heavy as shit? Yep. Well, it makes my life easy. Oh yeah, there it is. You know how I disconnected the thrusters? That's why it melted down. So quickly. Because I had already disconnected the thrusters, but kind of blessing in disguise-ish? I don't know. 6 of one, half a dozen in the other. Because it would have been impossible to extract that thing with the thrusters still attached.
For processing.
Okay. So I'll have to keep that one in mind for the future. Freaking... Oh, that's what blew up. I mean, 100% worth it. But yeah, losing the reactor plating is a little expensive. I'm shocked. I'm still shocked I didn't lose more. Okay. So, let's see. Can I remove these? Yes, but I've got to remove the cargo crates. There we go. Huh. Was the reactor the first thing I'd thrown in? I think that's actually the case. That's very backwards from what I usually do. But yeah. Oh, there's an asteroid shard in here.
Secured. Credits deposited.
Okay. Toss you in. Okay, shipping crate is separate. I think these panels can go. Perfect. Let's get them out of here. What about this thing? freaking huge, but can I remove it?
Salvage deposited. Applying credit to account.
Okay, looks like it's good. Being good, should get that out of here before it gets knocked into the furnace.
Credit awarded.
Okay. Yeah, I just have so many tethers, I might as well use them all.
Low oxygen reserves.
How can I break these? I can. That's what I need. I need the pistons. Kind of expensive. At least I think they're expensive. Oxygen, thruster fuel. There we go.
Stabilizing.
Okay, so let's take a look at these front panels. Because they have the arms. I think I should... Okay, let's just pop the arms off. Okay. Huh. Separate from the bridge, too. So I don't even have to worry about that. So there's a little bit of the glass meant for the furnace, but I just don't think I'm going to be doing that on this sucker. Yeah, so if I see a piston, I'll grab it, but I might have to, let's see. Maybe not yet. Can I move it? I can. It doesn't really want to. Let's see what happens. But yeah, we'll rip the arms apart if I have no other choice. Aha! We still have a crate on this one. That's why it's so heavy. Do we? No. You're separate. You're just so freaking heavy that... Hot. Okay. Yep, no, this thing's just freaking heavy. It looks like that petered out. Get in there. Okay, then what about this one? Just nice, big, and heavy. No other nuance. What about you? You're good? You're good. Send you in. What about this one? Looks like it's fine on its own. Let's get the soft crate out of here just before it gets dragged in somehow.
Salvage registered. Transferring credits.
Oh. And this one lost its connection. I still don't understand how that happens all the time. Okay, is this asteroid shard? Oh gosh.
Credits awarded.
Asteroid shards are expensive, or are heavy. Are they worth anything? Nothing. They're worth buckus. Let's send that off. How's the rest of this doing? Got a giant shipping crate stack. Oh. There you go. That one didn't want to go in.
Secured. Credits awarded. Salvage goal achieved. Rewards allocated.
Okay. Yeah, let's just send these off. Get them out of here before I do anything else that's wild and risky. Now, I thought this was going to be faster, and I still think it is.
Applying credit.
I thought it was going to be faster than this.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
Oh yeah, you're going in. Are the rest of these? I think they're all still there.
Salvage accepted. Credit applied.
Alright. So what about these? So the one problem is there are these upper panel parts that are aluminum. It's a communications array. Okay. Oh, no. Neither of these... This one I can get a circuit out of. Nah. Let's just send that off. Yeah, do I want to try and remove these panels? Always a doozy.
Secured. Account credit applied.
And I don't think we're actually going to find it. Oh wait, no, but I don't need a rod. I might need rods, but I don't need them currently. Okay. Shoot, yeah. I really wish these cargo hatches... Let's see. This is not actually that bad. You're a sensor array, so we don't actually want this to be in the line of fire. Okay. Let's just try and pull it over here a bit. I think you're good. I don't think there's anything on that one. Then all we have left is the bridge.
Processing valuable deposit. Credits transferred.
Okay. I don't want that arm going anywhere, but I didn't want it getting yeeted in either.
Salvage deposit registered.
Alright, so how's this...
Account credited.
How's this doing otherwise? And it is a horrid mess. The ship really does kind of just sashimi out, which I actually rather appreciate. Okay, this one's still connected by this. There we go. I was wondering why that piece was so heavy.
Applying credits
What
to
about this
account.
one? I think we're good.
Salvage will reach.
Yeah, luckily, almost none of these actually have anything terribly valuable attached to them. So I can just kind of strip it and keep it rolling. Okay, are you good? No. I should be able to pop the whole rail guide off if I want to. Huh. Whole thing is meant for the processor, though. Actually, let's just chuck it in.
Tether levels are low.
There it goes. Wow. That is a big chunker. Get in there, boy.
Processing valuable object. Credits awarded.
Kind of hoping I get to see it, like, wig out as it went in, but alas. Alright, so let's take a couple more looks at this. I think these are the ones where I have to cut the panels off. And yeah, you have to like really break it. Oh no, you have to break it here. There we go. Because yeah, this is a separate rail guide on its own. Alright. Pop that off. And did I remove the hoist? Yes. At some point I'm gonna go mad with
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
grabbing ship parts. I don't think that's gonna be this one. I'll grab the arms. That'll be it. I don't know if I need more rods. What's the deal with the bridge anyway? Doesn't even lead anywhere. Oh. I see. It took me years to realize he was actually a comedian. I literally thought he was just like Frasier. I guess Frasier is supposed to be a comedian too, but I don't know. I think I just wasn't the right age to understand any of those shows. Okay, so is this another one? Yeah.
Processor deposit accepted. Credits awarded.
Who else was there? Drew Carey. Never understood him either. He was confusing. I think early 2000s comedian-focused television was just like wildly beyond me. I think it probably might make more sense nowadays, but nah. Whew. That is bright though. Okay, and you know what?
Material deposited.
Yeah, what's the deal with this insert thing? Yeah, I don't know. Never Never came off as funny on my end. Okay, that should be good.
Transferring credits.
Hopefully that won't hook onto anything important. We've got this big stupid walkway that I have to figure out what to do with. Let's see, panel's good. Oh, and I'm out of tethers. Well, I'll grab some more. Okay. I think I might have to pick some small ships after this, though. Oh, tethers. Can't walk away without those. I think I've just been doing maybe a couple too many large ships. This one's a lot faster, which I will give credit for. And I'll be done with this in less than an hour, I think. But almost every other big ship we've been dealing with today has been... Oh, it's getting moved. The other one was bumping it. It's fine. There we go. Alright, in you go. In you go. Or maybe not this one. Cancel this. In you go. You still have to come to me. Can't really leverage my mass here, unfortunately. Okay. There's a 1. There's a 2. Alright. Pull this out. Yeah, I'm sure there's still furnace capable bits on that one, but I'm not messing with it. We're good enough. Okay.
Material accepted. Credits assigned.
So the rest of this, yeah, this just goes in the processor. Boy, you really just have to sort this wreck. Where are you going?
Salvage secured.
That one just floated right off. I know it's my fault for getting distracted by the airlock, but ooh. Alright. How much is left? Well, we've taken out pretty much all the superstructure.
Processing valuable object. Credits awarded.
I need to shoot that in. I'm good. This is still kind of scuffed. I am so lucky I did not cause more chaos removing that thing. It broke a little bit more of its encasing than I thought it would. It looks like I'm okay. Alright. What are you? Random piece of structure? Oh, it's probably all of the panels. Okay. There we go. Oh. Not you, though. I didn't even realize this coolant pipe was loose. Oh, it's fine. Let's see. Want to really ever do Dyson Sphere program again? Probably, yeah. It's a little slow. Hi, Shell. What's up? I really like automation games, and I do enjoy playing a lot of them. Oh, there's an airlock console in there. Ouch. Oh, well. I don't think I'm gonna do it in the same way as this, is the one thing I will say. I want to experiment more with highly edited videos, but at the moment I can't quite justify the time expenditure. Because instead of, let's see, is this meant for the processor? Can I cut this? I can. You know, instead of doing kind of the full commentary LP style, for a game like Dyson Sphere program, I feel like I'd be better off actually, you know, just playing it, recording the whole thing. Maybe I could stream it, but my voice is kind of limited But then editing it down into something entertaining or interesting. Rather than trying to... Let's see, you go in there. Rather than trying to do it in this manner. I'd love to see trimmed down videos from you. I've been struggling with it a little bit, just because I only have so much free time and I usually spend it doing other things, unfortunately. And so, like, you know, if I wanted to start messing around with trimmed down videos, I'd actively have to say, like, you know, make even less YouTube videos or stream a little bit less to give myself more time to work on the highly edited, you know, higher effort things. I think that kind of stuff is going to be worth it, but I'm going on vacation for like a week and then another week in July. Not back to back, but, you know, kind of two separate things. And, because, you know, I'm gonna be going to, Minnesota to visit family members there. This is my grandmother. My grandmother turned 100 this year, and so we want to go, see her in person.
Deposit accepted for processing.
Let's see. And then after that, Michelle's grandmother wants to, do, like, a family thing as well, and has invited a ton of people for that. And so I have to pretty much prep for 2 weeks worth of vacation. And that's tough. I'll probably be recording while I'm there, maybe. But I don't think I'll be able to upload any of it, which is the issue. And so highly edited stuff sounds like it would be a ton of fun. But I would have to... I mean, I just don't have the extra, like, bonus time that I normally would. Moving this year has been nightmarish, because originally, like, our plan was to get a house. And then figure out the rest of everything. And unfortunately, you know, all of my down payment money got wiped out by, you know, stock market dipping and also taxes. Which, like, can't really complain too hard about that sort of thing. You know, I mean, you can complain about taxes, but you gotta pay them. Let's see. I guess this fuel pipes go in the processor. I'll keep that in mind.
Object processed. Transferring credit.
Boy, there's a lot of asteroid shards in here.
Rewards allocated.
I really wish these ships had, like, massive holes in them, where it's clear that the asteroid shards did shred them. I think that would be so cool. I could always do chatting and editing streams.
Salvage deposit
You don't...
confirmed.
It doesn't really work that way. At least not for me. Maybe other creators can do it, but... ugh. I am really... tempting fate with some of these.
Salvage accepted. Credit applied.
Experiment with trimmed down videos before going full YouTube edits. Well, I have been, a little bit. So, like, if you saw my Elden Ring video, that was like a fairly trimmed down experience. I think I played for like 3 hours,
Salvage deposit secured.
and then cut that down. So, part of the way, at least on a conceptual level, I do the recording for this would be me recording, but not talking very often. You know, only talking if it's actually important. You know, if something's happening, so... maybe 80% of gameplay time I'd be totally silent. Boy, I'm losing my voice. But the other bits... Oh. Okay, there are the fuses. I was confused by that. 2, 3... none. There we go. But so that doesn't work so hot when I'm streaming. Technically what you could do is, what I could do is just actually edit down my commentary further. But it would require me listening to hours worth of footage to even figure out what's really worth keeping. And that's always kind of dicey. Okay, where's the last one? There it is. Yeah, let's get the power generator off. 2, 3. Boop. There we go. That isn't so bad. Okay. Yeah. There we go. So what do we even have left? We have whatever's inside this thing. Oh, yeah, I should probably go empty out the ECM. Not make that same mistake twice. Not have this blow up in my face. There we go. This is creepy. Editing down stream highlights. Let's see. No, I can't go out the window. I wonder if I could actually just... No, I am better off just popping the floor off. Or I'm gonna pop the seams here. That makes way more sense. Why is it making eerie noises? But yeah, so if I'm doing sparse commentary, it's a lot easier on my end to actually concentrate funny. Because then I can actually think about what I'm going to say and I don't have to fill space. Because if I stop talking for like minutes on end during a stream, it's going to be a little weird. Maybe it would be understandable and maybe it wouldn't be that bad. But, you know, there's kind of that expectation that the streamer talks the whole time. And it's hard to get away from that kind of thing. And so, yeah, this would have to be something that I start doing completely off stream, kind of as its own separate whatever. I don't know. And so, I deeply want to do it, but I do not want to sink, you know, what little free time I have to do it, especially before, you know, going away for a little while. And then also just like, YouTube is kind of dicey always, and there's always that fear of like experiment too much and the platform's not going to respond to it. Huh. Ambiguous Amphibian streams like normal and then cuts the videos around a post-commentary storytelling. Huh. I guess I could do something like that. I might think of that. I think it only works for certain games. So like this game, for example, would be a complete no-go. I don't even know how you'd cut this down. Highlight style, yes. But I don't think I could do a post-com for it. Yeah, something to consider. Lots of things to consider. It just really depends. Oh, that was close. Okay, so this is still all fused into one thing. Actually, it's probably because of these storage bins. I bet that they're holding it all together. Yup, I was right. Hey, cutting the seams off these ships is actually really, really useful. Saves me a ton of time. Alright, so what do we have? A dampener? A distributor. But no, I'm not seeing the other parts that I need.
Salvage deposit confirmed.
I don't know. I'll think about these things. I might do them sooner. I might do them... I will probably do them later. The other issue is I don't want to spend, like, a week on one video and only have it get, like, X number of views. Because that's the one unfortunate, sad reality of, like, entertainment mercenary work, is that if you spend too much time on one thing and it doesn't do well, then you're kind of just stuck. It's like, well, I just spent 2 weeks on this video and it got 5,000 views. Fine as a hobby, rough if you're trying to kind of reorient your life.
Salvage deposit registered. Account credited.
Let's see, as long as you're happy, I never want you to be obligated to do things you don't like. Well, the thing is, like, I don't know. I am a dreamer when it comes to, like, cool things that'd be fun to play around with. So, I actually really like the idea of doing more edited stuff because it feels like I could do more. But it's one thing to kind of come up with the idea or the resolve to say like, yeah, this is a thing that I want to do. And it's another thing entirely to actually put it into practice bravely. Especially if it turns out to be like a big time, a major time expenditure or something to that extent. Because that's always my issue is, you know, if I want to commit to one of these things, I have to, you know, forcibly almost find the time. And so it's, you know, I've been saying I'm writing, because I write during my free time, but I've never finished anything. I've never even gotten close. And I often throw away my progress on a yearly basis because I'm not quite happy with where it was. And so I'm kind of on a loop for writing, and so it's like, I really would love to do more writing. It would be really neat to write like a novel a year or something. But actually putting that into practice is hard. It's not even a perfectionist thing so much as just I'm a little flighty. You know, I'm like, oh, but I want to write this story now. Oh, I like this character trope, and I can't fit that in. Or, you know, I'm going to change the genre entirely and write a completely different story for a while. And then I, like, finally go back to the previous thing, and I'm like, wow, this is dog shit. I gotta retool the whole thing. Like, someday I'll get to it. I was hoping to write, like, a bunch of short stories as kind of, like, my midpoint. You know, write short stories, then you don't have to worry about it, because, you know, if you only spend a month on a story, then, and it has, like, a specific beginning, middle, and an end, you know. Does this have wires? I got plenty of those. You know, even if it's just like a vignette or it could continue if you wanted to, having that level of, like, detachment would be nice. But it's still hard to write those. Okay, I think this thing is done. Except for maybe, like, separating this out. Like to make games, would like to make a full game. I always get half a prototype done, then toss it for the next project, or end up with a brain blockage that refuses to let you do anything. Yeah, I'm there with you. I would love to get into game development. I think that would be really fun too. My problem is I don't want to program the whole thing, and I almost need kind of a programmer that is more passionate than me, so that, you know, I have an external motivation source. Nice part about YouTube, it's the best creative endeavor I've ever done, because there's a constant external pressure to continue and to finish what I'm doing. This would be so much harder if I didn't have that going on constantly. Okay. I want to leave those robot arms for absolute last if I can.
Salvage deposit confirmed. Applying credit.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, honestly, on the topic of, like, cut down videos and stuff, it's not the worst idea, you know, because I like streaming games, linearly to some degree. Yeah, I like beginning, middles, and ends. They're fun. It feels more gratifying when I'm playing a game that, you know, I can really sink a bunch of time into, and master and have a ton of fun with. But YouTube always hates that. That's something I struggle with a little bit. You know, complaining about the idea of, like, people will watch the first episode of a Let's Play, and then, like, maybe only a third of those people will come back for the second episode, and then rinse repeat until you hit whatever your floor is. And so that's been kind of a upsetting a little bit. It's upsetting in its own way. But so I used to do just non-stop Let's Plays because that was my thing. But it's difficult to it's difficult to keep doing that when, you know, the metrics are just like dropping. You're like, all right, you know, reinvent myself. And the answer is just like, well, mostly just do one-offs and like short things. And like roguelike runs where you don't have to worry about that to the same extent. But I do want to play, yeah, stuff like Factorio. And yeah, sure, I could do like the one episode on Factorio. I don't get that. There's always a 5 to 15% drop of viewers every episode. Why would people not finish the series? I think it's because a lot of people are seeking novelty rather than actually wanting to really get in on a series. I think it also depends on the creator. Let's see. So, I don't know, actually. Because I know Game Grumps, for example, they don't seem to have nearly as much of a drop-off as, say, I do. And maybe I'm wrong on that one, but it always seemed like they had more of kind of a holding pattern. But I think so much of that was heavily personality-driven, whereas I think part of it's personality-driven for me, mostly driven by persistent calm voice.
Salvage secured. Applying credit.
Let's see. Speaking of series, what annoys me is many of the big YouTubers is they don't number episodes for their gameplays. So unfortunately, that's a product of the algorithm. Kind of what I was talking about with viewer drop-off. You're actually less likely to have viewer drop-off if you don't number the episodes or even acknowledge that it's like a linear series. And so me personally, I've just been avoiding anything that would even have kind of the implication of that. You know, sure, I've got like roguelikes, but you could watch any episode of a roguelike, you know, just skip a week and come back and, you know, except for me changing a little bit of my strategies, it's going to be about the same. And for Hardspace, who cares if you miss an episode? I guess there's a couple of audio logs, but instead it's more of kind of just like a running podcast instead. But I think the main reason why there's a heavy drop-off is a lot of people are trying to make a decision on a game, or validate the decision on the game instead. There we go. There's my hands. Rather than actually like... Oh, that's a bottle. I thought that was like a neat salvage. I was wrong. And so, yeah, people will watch like the first episode of a video and be like, oh yeah, this actually looks really fun. I'm gonna buy it and play it for myself. And that's a very common story when I'm like playing or streaming something. People only watch the first bit and then leave because they don't want spoilers. I can't really blame folks for that kind of thing, but it definitely does drive a considerable amount of like how I conceptualize creation and like working around that fairly massive number of people. How am I supposed to know if I'm skipping episodes or not? I mean, I put all of my stuff in a playlist. That's my thing.
Raw material deposited.
So, always follow the playlist, because that doesn't fight the algorithm. Yet. Maybe it does. Okay, I think I can rip these arms apart. I'll rip one of them apart, and we'll see what happens. Interesting. There comes an electrical hazard when you do that. Didn't break too much, though. I was worried that was going to cost me more.
Material accepted.
And there's the stupid YouTube decision of removing the watch bar. They also did the thing recently where you can actually see the most watched bits. Like if you look at the let's see, I think we're good. If you look at the scrub bar, you can actually see, it'll say like, well, it'll have like little peaks and highs and lows saying like, hey, this is the part everybody watched. And it often looks pretty arbitrary to me. But maybe Scott the Woz is not the perfect example of this. He's the only YouTuber I've watched all week. But you know, that kind of thing really does push people to skip around videos even more so. Because you see, like, a high peak and you're like, oh, you know, I want to go see that segment, and you skip ahead. then you miss like half the video, and it's a little destructive. It's not a huge problem for me yet, because a lot of roguelike runs don't really have that.
Deposit accepted for processing.
Let's see. It's still, I don't know, just doing all of this stuff. Every once in a while I see people say, like, leave a comment or like a thing on stream or YouTube being like, I want to do what you do, and I'm like, I don't know, you might not. It's mostly fine, it's usually a pretty good job, but there are some problems you have to contend with. Oh no. Oh no.
Valuable
Oh no.
object accepted for processing.
Okay, there we go.
All salvage goals have
The
been
furnace is just pulling it in. It is great for tutorials, though. Yeah. No, I'm sure there's actually quite a lot of major merits to these changes that a lot of people can get excited for. And I think they're good. I think it's just inherently more things that lightly harm creators and not enough like immediate support, if that makes sense. Where YouTube's trying to become TikTok. They are and they aren't. I think they're trying to look like a viable enough alternative that nobody's going to leave YouTube for TikTok. Same thing with YouTube trying to seem like a viable alternative to Twitch with live streaming and whatnot, so people don't leave YouTube for Twitch. Because a lot of creators did that, you know, 7 to 9 years ago. Back when Twitch was still kind of new. Possibly still named Justin TV. You know, I saw a lot of creators that I watched relentlessly when I was in college bail for Twitch. And I think they've been perpetually a little afraid of that.
Shipbreaker. This is your daily wake-up call.
On the flip side, I do appreciate that YouTube does have these features, because I have no interest in TikTok, and I don't even like Twitch that much. Twitch is kind of a bad platform. You know, if I'm complaining about YouTube, then boy, we really need to complain about Twitch. Ghost ships. Huh. Okay, I gotta read this one. Starting this week, we'll be receiving semi-regular shipments of ships found abandoned near the edges of the frontier. May hear others refer to these as ghost ships, but please note ghost ships is a colloquialism, and LYNX takes no responsibility for any non-corporeal entities encountered aboard these ships. These ships have been gently used by previous crews before being discarded for reasons we are not legally required to ascertain. A reminder that all vessels, either previously LYNX owned or otherwise, void their ownership rights if uninhabited for 3 days. Only 3 days? Under stellar law, LYNX has first salvage rights to uninhabited vessels, as outlined in page 178, section C, addenda blah, 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 blah. Please note that while a preliminary sweep of the ship has been done, revealing only minorly anomalous readings, a more in-depth assessment of any of these issues, terrestrial or otherwise, is the sole responsibility of the assigned shipbreaker. Huh. And we also have the Gecko Stargazer. Cool.
Cutter, I want to check in with you about Hal. Listen, back round where I grew up, you cross paths with all kinds of critters. Possums, coyotes, bears. And once in a while, you find yourself nose to nose with a bobcat. Bobcat's an unpredictable creature. A scared one, just as likely to fight tooth and nail as it is to scamper away. Now, Hal is terrified of not measuring up to the rest of us, failing, losing his status, and he's fixing for a fight, driven by that fear inside him. Thing is, Bobcat's just another animal. Hal, he's only human. You understand his fear. You can reason with him. So, I'm working on taming our local wildcat. Now you stay strong. We'll be through this soon enough. See you out there, Cutter.
Okay. Let's see. What do we got to grab? Yeah, that was a shorter mission. I like that gecko. The previous couple took a lot longer. Let's see. Do I want range on that? Probably not. Let's take a look at worksuit stuff. Okay, nothing there. Helmet. Yes! Holy smokes, that's expensive. Though, we're getting very close rank-wise to actually, just being able to outright own these. Let's see. I don't really care about throwing those. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. And I'll do it anyway. What else could I grab? I guess I could have messed with this. But, is what it is. Okay, well, let's take a look at what we've got next. But then probably stop. Or, well, not stop. Stop the episode. Ooh, Stargazer, hazard level 8. That's gonna be fun.